What does the avail light indicate on the external APU power switches? APU generator power quality acceptable for external power. Related external power source is plugged in and the power quality is acceptable. What bus is powered on the ground when APU generator 1 or external power 1 is available? Ground handling bus. What items are powered by the ground handling bus? Lower cargo doors, lower cargo handling equipment, lower cargo lights, fueling system, auxiliary hydraulic pump 4. When is the main cargo deck handling bus powered? When the avail light is displayed on the APU2 or external 2 switches. What items are powered by the main deck cargo handling bus? Nose and side cargo doors, main deck cargo lights, main deck cargo handling equipment. When is the ground service bus powered? When AC bus 1 is powered, either on the ground or in flight, and the ground service switch by the L1 door is on. Ground service bus powers main and APU battery chargers, fuel pumps for APU start, flight deck flood, navigation, and service lights, miscellaneous service outlets and equipment. What is the function of the standby power switch, the auto position? Allows main and APU standby buses to be powered from available sources. Available sources could include APU battery, main battery, or AC bus 3. What does a bus isolation light illuminated indicate? Bus tiebreaker open, AC bus isolated from synchronous bus. What happens when you push a generator drive disconnect switch? Disconnects integrated drive generator from engine when above idle speed. Opens related generator control breaker. What condition would automatically disconnect the integrated drive generator if not manually disconnected by the flight crew? Excessively high drive oil temperature disconnects the IDG automatically if not manually disconnected by flight crew action. What does a generator drive light indicate? IDG oil pressure low, or IDG oil temperature high, or generator control breaker open due to uncorrectable generator frequency fault. Forward main fuel pumps 2 and 3, forward override jettison pump 2 and 3, center override jettison pump, galley equipment. Describe the electrical load shedding process. Each utility bus is controlled by an ELCU that protects the electrical system from utility bus faults and provides load management through automatic load shedding. What are the main AC electrical power sources? 4 IDGs in each engine, 2 auxiliary power sources, APU generators, 2 external power sources. The split system breaker divides the synchronous bus, allowing each side of the AC electrical system to be powered by separate auxiliary or external power source. Describe the electrical system sequence of events during engine start, the SSB open. When an engine is started with auxiliary or external power connected to each side of the electrical system, SSB open, the IDG powers its side of the synchronous bus when voltage and frequency are acceptable. The previous power source is disconnected. When an engine on the opposite side of the airplane is started, the IDG powers its side of the synchronous bus. The previous power source is disconnected and the SSB closes. When a single auxiliary or external power source is powering the electrical system and an engine is started, IDG powers the entire synchronous bus when voltage and frequency are acceptable. The SSB remains closed and the original power source is disconnected. Which bus powers the captain's transfer bus and the main standby bus? AC bus 3. AC bus 1 is the backup power source for the captain transfer bus. Which bus powers the first officer's transfer bus? AC bus 2, AC bus 1, backup power supply. What bus powers the APU standby bus? Captain's transfer bus primarily is powered by AC bus 3, or the APU standby inverter connected to the APU battery bus. What items are on the APU standby bus? Left primary flight display, left navigation display, left FMC. Items on the main standby bus: left EIU, CDU, ILS, VOR, ADC, transponder, EFIS control, standby ignition for all engines, primary ICAS, RMI, standby instrument lights, various flight control components. How is the electrical system configured during an automatic ILS approach? Electrical bus isolation during Autoland. During automatic ILS approach, AC and DC buses 1, 2, and 3 are isolated from the synchronous bus to provide independent power sources for the 3 autopilots. AC bus 4 continues to power the synchronous bus. Any AC or DC source fails when buses are isolated for Autoland. The system reconfigures automatically to maintain independent power sources for the 3 autopilots. What are some of the major components of the AC standby power system? Main and APU standby buses, main and APU batteries, main and APU standby inverters, standby power selector. What is the normal source of power for the main standby bus? AC bus 3 and main standby inverter secondary. If both AC bus 3 and AC bus 1 are not powered, all other conditions normal, how is the main standby bus powered? Or how long can it be powered? The main standby bus is powered by the main standby inverter. The main standby inverter, normally unpowered, is activated and receives power from the main battery to the main battery hot battery bus. With the main battery charger unpowered, the main battery can provide power to the main standby bus for a minimum of 30 minutes. What are some of the equipment items on the main standby bus? Left EIU, left CDU, left ILS, left VOR, various flight control components, standby ignition for all engines, primary ICAS display, standby instrument lights, RMI if installed, left ADC, left transponder, left EFIS control. What are the equipments on the APU standby? Left FMC, left ND, left PFD. How is DC power provided by the electrical system? 4 transformer rectifier units produce DC power, each TRU powered by its related AC bus. 4 DC buses are connected through DC isolation relays to the DC tie bus. Battery buses distribute DC power in addition to the 4 main DC buses. What is the normal power source for the main and APU battery buses? DC bus 3. If either AC bus 3 or DC bus 3 is unpowered, how is each battery bus powered? Through its related hot battery bus. What are some examples of individual equipment items on the main battery bus? APU controller, fuel valves, all engines, all cross-feed valves, dome, storm, and selected indicator lights, IDG disconnect, manual pressurization control, trailing edge flap control, captain interphone, left radio tuning panel, left VHF, ISFD. How is each hot battery bus normally powered? The ground service bus. What are some examples of equipment items on the main hot battery bus? APU fuel shutoff valve, spar valves to engines, APU and lower cargo fire extinguishers, engine fire extinguishers, fire switch unlock. What items are on the APU hot battery bus? IRU left, center, right DC power, left and right outflow valves, APU inlet door, APU controller.